There comes a time in everyone's life when you stand at the edge of your comfort zone, staring at a choice. Do you retreat to the safety you've always known, or do you step forward into the unknown, heart pounding, knees shaking? I've learned that the moments that define us are rarely comfortable. They're messy. They're uncertain. They're the days when the voices of doubt scream louder than your faith. And that's exactly when you must decide. I will not back down. Life will test you. Not once, not twice, but over and over again. It will ask, how badly do you want it? And it won't hand you the answer. You'll have to show it in the way you keep going after the door slams in your face, in the way you get back up when the world thinks you're done. Fear. It's not your enemy. It's your compass. If something scares you, it's often the very thing you were meant to chase. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's moving forward despite it. You don't have to leap mountains in a single bound. Take the small step, then another. Every step forward is a vote for your own destiny. And when you fall, and you will, let the ground remind you how far you've come, not how far you have left to go. Setbacks aren't the end of the road. They are detours toward a better path. Sometimes the no you receive today is simply making room for the bigger yes that's waiting for you tomorrow. And through it all, stand in your truth. Own it. Live it. Because there is no one else on this planet with your exact voice, your exact story, your exact heart. You are the only you there will ever be. Don't back down from living that truth fully. So when the world pushes, push back with your purpose. When doubt whispers, let your vision roar. And when life dares you to quit, smile and say, watch me. You know, here's the thing. We spend so much of our lives wishing certain parts of our story didn't happen. The heartbreak, the mistakes, the moments when we felt small, overlooked, maybe even invisible. We try to hide those chapters, like they're too messy for anyone to see. But here's what I've learned. Those messy chapters? They're the gold. They're the reason you've got depth, compassion, grit. They're the moments that carved you into someone who understands, someone who can reach back and lift somebody else up because you've been there. It's easy to love the parts of our story where everything went right, where the plan worked, where we looked good on paper. But that's not where your strength comes from. Your strength comes from the night you cried yourself to sleep and still got up in the morning. It comes from the day you thought you were finished. And then, somehow, you weren't. Every scar, every tear, every single why me, they're not signs of weakness. They're receipts for the battles you've already fought and won. And here's the crazy part. When you start owning your story, not just the highlight reel, but all of it, you stop carrying it like a burden and start wearing it like armor. So, yeah, maybe your journey hasn't been perfect, but perfect is boring. Perfect doesn't teach you how to bend without breaking. Perfect doesn't give you that fire in your voice when you tell someone else, hey, I know it's hard, but you're gonna make it. Your story is your proof. Your story is your power. And if you dare to tell it, not only will it set you free, it might just set somebody else free too. You know, we talk about fear like it's the enemy, right? Like, oh, I'm scared, so I guess I shouldn't do it. But, honestly, fear isn't always a bad thing. It's not here to stop you, it's here to tell you something. It's a signal. Think about it. When you're about to do something that matters, like really matters, fear's usually the first one to show up. It's like that annoying friend who texts you at 2 a.m., hey, are you sure about this? Not because it wants to ruin your life, but because it's trying to keep you safe. It's your brain saying, whoa, this is new, this is big, pay attention. The trick is, don't confuse pay attention with turn back. Fear can be a flashlight, showing you exactly where the growth is hiding. If you feel that knot in your stomach, that shaky hands kind of energy, it's usually a sign you're on the edge of something important. You're about to cross a line from the old you into the new you. Now, I'm not saying you should ignore fear completely. No, listen to it. Respect it. Ask, okay, what are you trying to tell me? Sometimes it's warning you about real danger, but more often, it's just alerting you to the fact that you're stretching, you're stepping outside that little comfort zone you've been living in. And here's the thing, nothing amazing ever happens inside your comfort zone. That zone is nice, it's cozy, it's safe, but it's not where your dreams live. Your dreams are usually standing just beyond it, waving like, hey, you gonna come get me or what? So next time fear shows up, instead of slamming on the brakes, take a breath and lean in. Say, all right, fear, I see you, but you're riding shotgun, not driving. Because fear can guide you, but it doesn't get to choose the destination. You know, people sometimes think resilience is something you're just born with, like blue eyes or curly hair. Either you have it or you don't. But that's not how it works. Resilience. It's a choice. It's that little decision you make, sometimes every single day, to keep going, even when every part of you wants to sit down and say, I'm done. I mean, think about it. We all face stuff we didn't sign up for. Loss, disappointment, heartbreak, failure. And in that moment, you've got two roads. One where you give in to the weight of it, and one where you decide, no, I'm getting back up. And here's the thing, they're both hard. Staying down is hard. Getting up is hard. But one keeps you stuck, and the other moves you forward. Resilience isn't about pretending you're not hurt. It's not smiling through pain like nothing happened. It's looking at the mess, the cracks, the damage, and saying, yeah, this is real, but it's not the end of me. Sometimes it's dramatic, like pulling yourself out of rock bottom. Other times it's quiet, just showing up to work, or making the phone call, or lacing up your shoes when you really don't want to. It's in those small moments where resilience lives. And you know what? Every time you choose to rise, you're actually building something. Muscle, grit, a little more faith in yourself. It starts stacking up, so the next time life knocks you down, and it will, you've got proof that you can get back up again. So no, resilience isn't some magical gift handed out to a lucky few. It's a decision. It's that whisper in your heart that says, I don't know how, I don't know when, but I'm not done yet. And every single one of us has the power to make that choice. You know, doubt has a loud voice. Like, really loud. It's that voice that pops up right when you're about to take a step forward. And it's like, are you sure? What if you fail? What if people laugh? What if you're just not good enough? And if you're not careful, that voice can drown out everything else. That's why your vision, your dream, your why, has to speak louder. And I don't mean louder like yelling over the doubt. I mean deeper, more rooted, so solid in your soul that no matter how much doubt tries to shout, it can't shake it loose. Here's the thing. Your vision isn't just a nice idea. It's your compass. It's the thing that points you toward the life you know you're meant to live. And when you really see it, when you can close your eyes and picture it so clearly you almost feel like you're already there, that's when you've got something worth fighting for. Because let's be honest, the doubt isn't going away. You can't wait for a day when you feel ready, and all the fear just disappears. That's not how it works. You've got to move with it. You've got to let your vision be the reason you take the step anyway. Sometimes that means writing it down where you'll see it every morning. Sometimes it's talking about it out loud so you remind yourself it's real. Sometimes it's finding people who believe in it, and in you. So when your own faith gets wobbly, theirs can hold you up for a minute. But here's the real magic. Every time you choose your vision over your doubt, even in the tiniest way, you start training your brain. You start proving to yourself, yeah, I can do this. And eventually, your vision doesn't just speak louder. It becomes the only voice that matters. So let doubt talk. Let it run its mouth. You've got something bigger, brighter, stronger pulling you forward. And when you follow that voice, that's when things start to change. You know, we live in this world where everybody's talking about big moves and overnight success. Like if you're not making huge leaps, you're somehow falling behind. But the truth, most real progress doesn't look like that. It's not flashy. It's not instant. It's a lot of tiny, unglamorous steps that nobody claps for, but they count. They all count. Think about it. If you take one small step every day, you're still moving. You're not in the same place you were yesterday. And honestly, some days, that's the win. Some days, the big victory is just showing up, writing one page, making one phone call, taking one deep breath and trying again. We get so caught up in wanting the finish line that we forget. The journey is built one step at a time. And yeah, sometimes the steps are messy, crooked, maybe even a little backwards. But forward isn't always a straight line. Forward is just not giving up. And here's the thing. Small steps are powerful because they're doable. They're not so overwhelming that you freeze. You can take a small step even on the days when you feel tired, unmotivated, or just plain unsure. And those little steps, they add up. One day you look back and think, wow, I didn't even realize how far I've come. We love those big movie-style breakthrough moments. But honestly, the quiet persistence is where the magic happens. The days when nobody's watching, when there's no applause, when it's just you choosing to move, those are the days that build your strength. So don't underestimate the power of small steps. They're proof that you're still in the game. And as long as you're still moving, no matter how slowly, you're still moving toward the life you want. That's what matters. You know, when something goes wrong, our first instinct is usually, well, that's it. Game over. We take a hit, the plan falls apart, maybe people doubt us, or worse, we start doubting ourselves, and it feels like the story's done. But here's the thing, a setback isn't the end. Most of the time, it's just the middle of the chapter. And honestly, if you look back, some of the best comebacks, the moments where people rose higher than anyone expected, started with something going completely wrong. The loss, the failure, the "I can't believe this happened." That's the setup. That's the part where the universe, or life, or whatever you want to call it, is basically saying, all right, let's see what you're made of. The cool part, a setback forces you to think differently. It shakes you up, makes you rear out, maybe even rebuild from scratch. And yeah, in the moment, it feels awful. It's uncomfortable. But that's where you start seeing new possibilities you wouldn't have noticed if everything had gone according to plan. And think about every great story you've ever loved. Movies, books, even sports. Nobody cheers for the person who had a straight, smooth ride to the top. We cheer for the one who got knocked down and found a way to rise, even stronger. The one who turned "it's over" into "watch me." A comeback isn't just about getting back to where you were. It's about coming back with more strength, more clarity, more fire than you had before. The setback? That's just the training ground. So yeah, when life knocks you off your feet, you can see it as a full stop. Or you can see it as a comma, a pause before the next big thing. Because sometimes, the greatest chapters start right after the worst pages. You know, standing in your truth sounds simple, right? Like, just be yourself. But in real life, it's not always that easy. Because the world has a funny way of telling you who you should be, how you should act, what you should want. And if you're not careful, you start bending, twisting, shrinking just to fit into somebody else's idea of enough. But here's the thing, your truth? It's the most powerful thing you own. It's your voice, your values, your story, the stuff that makes you you. And when you hide it, when you water it down just to make other people comfortable, you're not living your life. You're living theirs. Standing in your truth means saying, this is who I am, and I'm okay with that. Even if it's not perfect. Even if it's not what you expected. And sometimes, yeah, that's gonna ruffle a few feathers. Not everyone will clap for your truth. And that's okay. Because the right people, the ones who are meant to be in your life, they'll hear your truth and think, ah, there you are. And let's be real. It's scary. It's vulnerable. It's like walking out into the world without armor. But here's the magic. When you own your truth, when you speak it and live it, it becomes your armor. It protects you from the weight of other people's opinions because you know, deep down, you're aligned with you. Standing in your truth doesn't mean you have to shout it from the rooftops every day. Sometimes it's quiet. It's the decisions you make when nobody's watching, the boundaries you set, the things you say no to because they don't feel right for your soul. And once you start living that way, you'll notice something. Life gets lighter. You stop chasing approval because you already have your own. You stop pretending to be smaller because you finally believe you're allowed to take up space. So, yeah, stand in your truth. Even if your voice shakes. Even if your knees knock a little. Because the world doesn't need another copy. It needs the one, authentic, unapologetic you. So here's what I want you to remember. Your story, your fear, your resilience, your vision, your small steps, your setbacks, your truth. They're not random pieces of who you are. They're the tools, the armor, the compass you've been building all along. Life will push you. It will test you. It will whisper doubt in your ear and throw roadblocks in your path. But every single time you choose to keep moving, whether it's with a leap, a shuffle, or even a crawl, you're proving something. Not to the world, but to yourself. I'm still here. I'm still standing. And I'm not done yet. Never backing down doesn't mean you never feel scared. It doesn't mean you never fall. It means you rise anyway. It means you let your vision be louder than your doubt, your truth be stronger than your fear, and your determination outlast every obstacle. So when the moment comes, and it will, when you're standing face to face with a thing that makes you want to quit, I want you to take a breath, square your shoulders, and remember, you've made it through every hard day you thought would break you. You're not just a survivor, you're a fighter. And fighters, we don't back down.